Good morning and happy Monday. My name is Beth Ricklefs. I'm a life insurance sales director here at IMES. We have an awesome webinar prepared today with Rob Johnson from Lincoln to talk about all the great features of the MoneyGuard Fixed Advantage product. Before we dive into the information, I will go over a quick commercial for IMES. I can tell by the attendee list, I have some agents that have been with IMES for a long time. I also have some newbies in there, so if you'll bear with me, I'll get through this as quick as possible. One thing is, if you are considering becoming an agent with IMES, we do have a new producer builder program to get you started writing business as quickly as possible with us. And so in your first 6 months of being contracted with us, if you meet certain production levels, we're going to give you prizes for that. So, for example, if you were to hit the $100,000 level with fixed indexed annuities or $10,000 of target premium for life insurance, you could earn an iPad or $750 of cash. If you made it to the 750 level, you've got Retirement Boss Radio and some other prizes there. You can cash out at any time that you want to, but that is just meant as an incentive to get you writing business with us as quickly as possible. Our business, I'm sure, is not that different from your business in that referrals are key. We certainly appreciate any referral of other agents that are successful in the business like yourself, referring them over to us at IMES. We do appreciate referrals, and so $50 one-time bonus when you refer an agent to us. And then we also will have a commission amount off of everything that they write going forward. That is not a haircut off their commissions or your commissions. That's completely out of the pocket of IMES. We also understand how important marketing is to increasing your sales, so we do have marketing reimbursement. We pay $100 of marketing reimbursement for every $100,000 of index annuity premium. That's up to $200 if it's single premium life, and $200 for every $10,000 of target premium. We have excellent back office support from our case management team to make sure that when business is coming in the door, that it is getting followed up on consistently to get it through the pipeline as quickly as possible and you get paid. We offer front-end support with talking to the sales directors, whether it's annuities or life, and that could be anything from case design to searching out a particular product with features, pre-screens if you're not sure on someone's health status, which company would be a better fit. We can help with that. We have an excellent website that helps with back office support and able to pull forms, run quotes, and those types of things. A lot of our applications now are paperless on different platforms of electronic application. So we want to be there to help you write more business and quicker business. And like I mentioned, we have our website. If you haven't had the time to register for IMESinc.com, I would highly recommend it. There's a lot of great information on there from our term quote engine, which allows you to run term quotes and guaranteed universal life quotes. I get a lot of questions about what kind of final expense is out there on the market. We have a search engine for that. In our training tab, you can get to all of our webinars. We do a lot of webinars throughout the week, both with topics about annuities, life, and marketing that you can always go back and review, And there's also a sales resource library that has a ton of information on it, sample specimen type of documents when it comes to buy-sell agreements, key man, and different presentations on there as well. So I would take a look at our website if you haven't done so before. Like I mentioned, there's a lot of companies that are going to electronic forms of submitting applications. Firelight has become a big deal for us, especially on the annuity side. So that's one platform of sending in electronic business. Here you can kind of see all the annuity companies that are able to work with Firelight. On the life insurance side, we don't have quite as many yet. We utilize iPipeline more for that, where you would see that on our website is iGo eApp Solutions is the name of that platform. And then if you are working with American National, they actually have their very own portal for electronic applications. But I would say more than half of our business is now getting submitted electronically, which is a good thing because we do those submissions seem to go a lot smoother and miss less information that's necessary to get it through underwriting. We have a full service creative marketing solutions team here that can help you with anything from designing a business card, website, landing pages, anything that you can think of. One thing I would encourage you to do if you haven't done so before is work with either your annuity or your life insurance sales director and get a marketing analysis done with them. It's completely free to do that, and it's an exercise that helps us learn more about your business and what you're doing for marketing and where you want to go with your business. Then we bring in our creative marketing team to help us come up with a solution of different marketing tools that you could be utilizing to get to those goals. One thing I love about our creative marketing team, which is different from any other place that I've been at, is that it's not a cookie cutter approach. It is very individualized based on what your market is and what you're trying to accomplish with your business. So again, if you haven't done the marketing analysis, you definitely want to get that done and see what kind of plan we can put together for your marketing. And then we want to be completely full service. So IMS Wealth Management is there for our managed money. And that can be, as basic as you getting into the business and wanting a bigger wallet share of your client's business by managing money, or it could be that you're very established and already have that going. So that is just another piece to the puzzle that we have here at IMS is our IMS Wealth Management. Every year we do put on life and annuity academies. We'll probably have 3 to 4 throughout the year. This week we're getting ready to have our first one of the year with Athene, and we will be having our next one in June. So if you're looking to ramp up your training efforts in life and annuities, I would definitely reach out to either your life or annuity marketer to talk to them to see if it's a good fit. Again, the next one's up in June. I think we have one coming up in September too. Space is limited, so if you are interested, you want to have that conversation as soon as possible. We do have our trip, the Seaside Sanctuary. Something that we do differently from other FMOs is we make that qualification period 18 months long. So that started back in June of 2022, and we run it to December of 2023. So there's still plenty of time to qualify for that trip. And you can always find us on Facebook and LinkedIn. I also think that you should be looking at our YouTube channel, which you can find that link through our website. And that's all I've got to say. So I'm going to go ahead and change this over to Rob. And there you go, Rob.
Perfect.
Tell me if you I can see your slides.
Great. Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate the introduction. I know there are many of you on the call this morning, so we're gonna make this as quick as possible, but really provide the bullets on what's changed. Lincoln's been in this asset-based LTC space. This August will be 35 years. Easily the market leader again last year in terms of total sales. And what's been great about this space, and I've been doing long-term care for 23 years, the space has changed so much, especially in asset-based LTC. There's more competitors than ever. And what this has really forced Lincoln to do is become innovative. We've worked to make it easier to write business with us. We've removed some of those roadblocks, ideally make it as electronic as possible. To make it smooth with DocuSign, with e-applications. We'll talk about our e-interview process. We've removed so many of those roadblocks, as well as providing changes to the product to make it more flexible than ever, and really give your clients more options on what to do with their benefits. So let's go ahead and dive right in here. So we'll talk about why MoneyGuard, why Lincoln, but quick overview for those of you that aren't familiar with Lincoln. So MoneyGuard is built on a universal life chassis, but no one is buying this for the life insurance. This is bought to protect for long-term care, extended care, as I like to call it. And this space has changed, like I mentioned, quite a bit. We're seeing the bulk of our claims come in for home care now. Second most is assisted living. Last year in 2022, in fact, I got these numbers just last week, only 8% of our claims were paid to folks in a nursing home. So the bulk, again, being home care, about 58% being home care, 8% being nursing home, and the rest being assisted living. But we've seen an increase in assisted living claims every year. We've also seen growth in that adult daycare space, with more folks where both spouses are working, mom or dad is living with them. We're seeing more and more claims in that adult daycare. So MoneyGuard itself, if you haven't looked at it in a while, anywhere between 10 and 20% less expensive than it was a year ago today. We've had the improving or the interest rate improvements have certainly helped insurance companies like Lincoln offer more competitive solutions. And this MoneyGuard Fixed Advantage, the newest iteration of MoneyGuard, is approved in all states except California. In California, we have an older version, MoneyGuard 2, which, good news for those folks in California, is extremely competitive because it's about 5 generations behind the rest of the country. But we're going to focus on MoneyGuard Fixed Advantage because that's the product where most of you are at today. The story has not changed. Folks buy MoneyGuard, and really in this space, MoneyGuard has become like Coke or Xerox. It's become synonymous with these asset-based solutions. But the story has always been, some folks call it live, quit, or die. I like to look at it as leverage, legacy, and liquidity. So what Lincoln does with MoneyGuard is provide leverage from day one. So rather than spending $1 for $1 of care, Lincoln provides $1 for $4 of care day one, $3 to $5 generally. And then most folks choose to have an inflation rider on there. And with Lincoln, it can be 3 or 5%. So that LTC benefit is growing, hopefully to keep up with that cost of care increases. The other thing that's different with Lincoln, that legacy, the death benefit with MoneyGuard can never be less than what the client paid in. So if they paid in $100,000 or $75,000, that death benefit can never be less than that. If they need long-term care, that death benefit just gets reduced dollar for dollar. But they know if they were to pay into this policy and 30 years went by and they passed away in their sleep, their beneficiary would get back 100% of what they paid in tax-free. Now, leverage, legacy, liquidity, obviously there's an option to surrender this policy. I will tell you, in 34, almost 35 years, the percentage of folks that have surrendered MoneyGuard is less than 1%. But we have 2 ROP options. One is 70% return of premium. The second of which is 100% return premium after a 10-year vesting schedule that starts at 70%. About 96% of folks choose the 70% ROP option with Lincoln because why? That leverage bucket, the LTC bucket, is bigger when you're choosing the lower ROP. So let's look at an example with MoneyGuard. If this is Kelly, and our issue ages for MoneyGuard are anywhere between 40 and 80. Average buyer is around 60, which makes sense. Those 60-year-olds parents are typically in their 80s. Last year, and I just got the newest number, so previous in 2021, our average claim started at 83. Last year, our average claim started at 82. So if this is Kelly, she's 60, maybe inherited some money or has some money set aside, reposition those dollars into MoneyGuard. We give a couples discount even if the spouse does not apply or is maybe ineligible because of their health, but we're going to give a couples discount. In fact, we only have 2 rate classes for MoneyGuard, and this is really one of our niches. We have a standard rate for those that are single or widowed, and we have a couples rate for those that are married. Unlike almost every other life or long-term care plan out in the market, we do not have a tobacco rate class. So that smoker would still get the same rate as a non-smoker with MoneyGuard. So if we look at an example, in fact, and I'm not going to dive into this too much, but this is what an illustration looks like. Obviously, you got the strong financial ratings here. It's going to provide guaranteed income tax-free long-term care benefits or a tax-free death benefit. It's going to provide flexibility, in which we'll talk about some of that flexibility here in a minute. But out of the gate for Kelly here, she has about $4,500 per month, which is compounding by 3% every year. So by the time she's 85, she's got about $9,500 per month tax-free LTC benefits. And she's never going to have less of a death benefit than what she paid in. So she has a death benefit there. And she also has a residual death benefit, meaning if Kelly were to exhaust her entire pool of LTC benefits, there would still be a residual death benefit about $5,500. It's almost like a little mini final expense policy built into MoneyGuard. And then, of course, in this example, we have the 70% return of premium. Key here with MoneyGuard, and unlike everybody else in this asset-based LTC space, MoneyGuard has no elimination period. And I think most of you would know, if you've looked at long-term care in the past, most long-term care plans have a 90-day elimination period. With Lincoln, all benefits, home care, nursing home, assisted living, adult daycare, hospice care, whatever the care setting is, there is no deductible for them to pay. And that's a key advantage. We think about that benefit being close to $10,000 a month. With another solution out there, that means they would be out of pocket probably the first $30,000 to $40,000. With Lincoln, those benefits are available day one. This is key here at the top. You're going to see all values and benefits shown are guaranteed. We cannot pull the rug out from under them. They see this. In this example, I ran $100,000 single premium. You'll see the 70% surrender value, the death benefit, again, never being less than what they paid in. And then at age 85, we fast forward. Kelly paid in $100,000. If she needs long-term care at age 85, she has $743,000 of tax-free LTC benefits, or about $9,500 a month. Now, we might show somebody a single premium, and I'll fast forward here, but there is flexibility with MoneyGuard to show other durations. So you can do a payment duration anywhere between 1 and 10 years. And in this example, we've shown you to keep these same benefits if they want to pay it out over 2 years. Well, that might be worth it. They pay $51,000 twice or $102,000 all in, but they've separated that premium into 2 payments, and they can stretch it as long as 12 years. So in this case, they would pay $12,000 a year for 10 years. Total premium outlay is $123,000 for them, but that may or may not, and again, couples don't have to do the same thing, but that is an option. The other thing with MoneyGuard, there's their benefit periods, anywhere between 3 and 6 years with Lincoln. And you could choose to have an inflation component to it, or have 3 or 5%. but all of them, based on Kelly being 60, female, married, are all laid out here on this page. So you can have one illustration run and say, hey, this is how we're going to fund it. Here are all the benefit options. You could see if we ran with a 4-year benefit period, 4-year 5%, the monthly benefit's a little bit higher at age 85, about $1,500 more, but the pool of money is about $180,000 less. So all of these are options they have to choose up front, but this is all available to the client, and they choose at the time of purchase. So with MoneyGuard, like I said, this is a key advantage for Lincoln, because we hate the thought of paying into a policy, an asset-based LTC solution, 20 to 30 years from now, 40 years from now, finally needing it, and our client's going to remember that they're out of pocket the first 90 days. With Lincoln, those benefits are available day one, and that could be a $35,000 to $70,000 savings versus a 90-day elimination period. The other way Lincoln has evolved MoneyGuard is providing flexibility for informal caregivers. For years, 33 years, Lincoln, the benefits had to be paid to a nursing home, assisted living, home care agency, adult daycare, hospice care. The product's evolved where now you can get up to 50% of your monthly benefit in cash, even if a spouse living in the same home were to provide that care. So this is built into MoneyGuard now, MoneyGuard Fixed Advantage. The other thing that we've done with MoneyGuard, and this is the second thing we've enhanced with the product, and keep in mind, pricing's come down 10 to 20% this last year since really September, and we've added these features. So now we have what we call Benefit Transfer Rider, and this is available everywhere except California and New York. And so we wanted to give beneficiaries more options on what to do with their death benefit. And I'll use an example. If I had a husband and wife that bought MoneyGuard at 65, let's say, for example, they had a $100,000 death benefit. He dies in his sleep. Up until this point, her only option, assuming she was the beneficiary, was to take that death benefit. Now with Lincoln, with Benefit Transfer Rider, and this is built in, every beneficiary is going to have 3 options on what to do with the death benefit. They could still take the full death benefit if they want it, or now with Lincoln, they have the opportunity to take that death benefit and use it to enhance their own policy. They could take that $100,000, for example, roll that back into their policy, and Lincoln will leverage those dollars too. The other way you could do it is maybe that surviving spouse says, you know what, I could use $40,000 or $50,000 today, but I'd like more long-term care. So they can do a little bit of both. They could take a death benefit or enhance their own policy. Now, what is this going to do for them? If they utilize benefit transfer, and again, benefit transfer, I know it's called rider, built into all of the new MoneyGuard policies. This is going to increase their long-term care benefits. It's going to increase their death benefit and increase that surviving spouse's length of protection. Here's the key. No additional underwriting required when benefits are transferred. What does that mean? That means if the husband passed away at 85, that surviving spouse is also 85, might have Alzheimer's, could be already in a facility, might already be utilizing their MoneyGuard policy, they can still get more LTC benefits. What's nice about this is we're not forcing them to decide which of these 3 options they want to do at the time of purchase. They will decide at the time of that death claim on what they want to do. They'll have the 3 options presented to them, and they can make that decision at the time of purchase. In fact, in the application, there's no spot to even elect benefit transfer because it's built in, or even tell us which death benefit option they want to go with. When we transfer those benefits in that surviving individual's policy, now that new total benefit will grow. So what does that look like? In my example, husband died at 85, she was 85, we took that $100,000. We moved it into her policy. She said, you know what, I don't need more life insurance. I don't need the death benefit now, but man, I wish I had more long-term care. So what is that? How does that impact the policy? Her surrender value went from 70,000 to 158. Her death benefit, essentially we allowed her to make it a second to die. Now, MoneyGuard is an individual policy, but we're allowing her to kick the can down the road on the death benefit. Now she'll have a 208,000. So you'll see we leverage that death benefit about 8%. So now she's got a $208,000 death benefit. But really the reason you're doing this is you want more long-term care. So you can see at age 84, she had 521,000 of LTC benefits. Now, because she transferred $100,000 into her own policy, again, with no underwriting at no cost, she went to $690,000 of LTC benefits because she had an inflation rider of 3%. Now the 690 compounds. So you see already by age 86, she's got 710,000. So in 2 years, she went from 521,000 to $710,000 of LTC benefits with a no-cost option to get more long-term care. This is a great option if she's already having health challenges, wishes she had bought more long-term care. And again, she might say, you know what, give me the 100,000, and she could take that. But why not give beneficiaries more options on what to do with the death benefit? What this did for Mary is it got her 30% more in LTC benefits. It extended her benefit duration from 72 months or 6 years to 90 months of LTC benefits. And we increased her death benefit from $100,000 to $208,000. Built in, no cost. And I think providing more flexibility for insured, especially when you don't have a deductible, no elimination period, and we're going to give that beneficiary more options, that's a win-win all the way around. Now, the nice part about benefit transfer is it really opens up the door for some generational planning because we are not limiting the use of benefit transfer rider to spouses. Meaning that if my mom were to buy MoneyGuard and then say my brother and I were to buy MoneyGuard, if we're the beneficiaries, say we're 50-50 beneficiaries on my mom's policy, when she dies and she had a death benefit remaining, my brother and I could each decide what we want to do. He could say, give me the death benefit. I could say, you know what, I wish I had more long-term care. We don't have to choose the same option. It's just we need to be the beneficiary on her policy. The only way that there will be not an option to transfer LTC benefits or utilize benefit transfer is if the death benefit is less than $25,000. At that point, if the death benefit's less than $25,000, we will pay it as a death benefit. Here, if you're wondering what our process looks like, a lot different than traditional long-term care or most life insurance. Lincoln has been offering this for almost 35 years. For a long period, we ordered medical records. We did paramed exams, both of which you're familiar with in that life insurance space. We did away from doing both of those steps about 19 years ago. So now we have the option to either do a paper app or ideally an e-application so it goes smoother. And then we have to ask a series of health questions, and we now offer them. This slide shows two ways. You can still do it on paper, but answer the health questions on paper, but that might require a follow-up phone call. For the last 19 years, the option to answer the health questions was an online PHI. That was a telephone call that lasted 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes to an hour, depending on how in-depth their health history was. We now give folks the option to do an online PHI, meaning we will email them after the application comes in the list of health questions. And what's nice about this is that we've built in the reflexive questions. So if they say yes to something, those follow-up questions, much like the telephone call, are built in. So what's nice on this is you can answer the health questions 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can answer the first 10 questions, save, and come back and finish it days later, where that you can't do that on that telephone PHI. So a lot more flexibility with the online PHI. And we see a lot of folks doing e-application online PHI. The only reason they would have to do a phone call is if they're 61 and older. They will have a 15-minute cognitive screen over the phone. If they do the phone PHI, it's built in. If they do an online PHI, it's just a separate 15-minute phone call. And I would encourage you, for those of you that are writing MoneyGuard, I know a number of you on the call have applications in with IMS right now. Encourage your clients to take those phone calls seriously. Do not joke about memory loss. Answer yes, no, be honest, but don't say more than you really need to. Just answer truthfully, and certainly don't joke about any health conditions, because those calls are recorded, and that's what the underwriter has to go off of. Once we have all of the health information in-house, our goal is to make that decision within 5 business days. I get an update every morning at 8 o'clock saying where are we at. Right now, we're anywhere between 2 and 3 days to make a decision once we have all the health information in-house, and then we can deliver that policy electronically. If they do an e-app, this is what it looks like, or an e-interview. We want to make it as clear as mud how that this email that they're getting is from Lincoln. So you'll see on here, Sarah Smith, we received your signed MoneyGuard application. To initiate the underwriting portion, click start. They'll get that email. That link is good for 10 days. But they'll hit start. They can always get a new link if they didn't get it answered in 10 days. But then they can go through the questions. We broke it into 2 parts. You'll see across the top, you'll see long-term care. These are generally the knockout questions you're going to see down at the bottom. Hopefully they answer no to all these if they don't have schizophrenia or type 1 diabetes or Alzheimer's or MS. And then the second part is a part 2. It's almost like a little pizza tracker. As they go across the top, they'll see the status of where they're at. And again, they can save if they want to. They can also print off a PDF of their answers. So you'll see this little PDF button. They'll know exactly how they answered. So it's not a he said, she said, I didn't answer that, or I did answer that. We have a PDF of exactly how they answered those questions. Looking for resources from MoneyGuard. This website, I know a number of you are new to Lincoln, or maybe never looked at MoneyGuard. Rob, how do I get a brochure? How do I get an advisor guide, or looking for your underwriting tools? This website here requires no login, no Lincoln writing number. You can have access to all of our marketing materials, brochures, sales tools, campaigns. If you want to do a campaign or information on claims, or need a presentation, maybe you're doing a client seminar coming up, we have PowerPoint decks already built in here. So lfg.com/MG Launchpad. This is our resource library, again, 24 hours a day. In fact, this is the website I use as a wholesaler for Lincoln, because then I know the materials I'm grabbing off here are up to date and I have exactly what I need here. The other change that I want to touch on real quickly, and this is brand new, that's why this is at the end of the presentation. We now offer, for those really healthy clients, those 60 and younger, generally we have clients that just would fly through underwriting previously. We are now offering real-time approval, meaning they do that PHI over the phone, or maybe they do it online. There will be folks now, and I had a number last week, that at the conclusion of that phone call or the conclusion of that e-interview, they found out right then they were approved. So this is something new that's Lincoln's doing, and again, we're doing those checks, but if they check all those boxes, there's not anything concerning. There will be folks that get a real-time approval then that does not even need to be reviewed. So this is what it looks like. You submit an application, they start that online or phone interview. We do automated underwriting, meaning we check the MIB, we do a script check, and there will be folks that have a real-time approval at that point. At that point, we can issue the policy and deliver it digitally to you. I want you to lean on your IMS team. They're your go-tos, but I want to give you my contact information, so if you have a specific Lincoln question, you're welcome to schedule time with me. There's my phone number, my email address, my QR codes. You don't have to reach out to me. If you want to schedule time with me to talk about an opportunity, go ahead, click on that. You'll see my real-time schedule, and we can set time together. I want to turn it back over, see if there's any questions that I can answer. And what's nice is we've seen an increase in number of attendees since we've been doing the call. So are there any questions for me?
Hey, Rob, I don't see questions, but I had a question, something
Okay.
that occurred to me. On the benefit transfer, how many generations can you transfer that? Like if
There's not a limit. As long
Okay.
as they each have a new MoneyGuard policy, they can transfer that down as if they're the beneficiary.
Well, I'll go ahead with the polling questions here.
Okay.
So the first one here is, are you looking for an let's see. Are you looking for an IMO that shows appreciation for referrals? Okay, I will go close that one out. Next, are you currently assisting your clients to ensure their LTC needs are covered? And then the last, would you like to receive marketing material from Lincoln MoneyGuard Fixed Advantage? Well, again, thank you for spending Monday with us, Rob. That was all great information. I mean, MoneyGuard has definitely been the flagship, and when it comes to asset-based long-term care, and it's incredible to have a 0-day elimination period. I think that benefit transfer is such a huge selling point. As well. So lots of good things. And then, just the cherry on top of all of that is the underwriting process. So lots of great opportunity out there when it comes to asset-based care solutions, and MoneyGuard definitely at the front of your mind. So anything else that you want to say before we?
No, just appreciate everyone's opportunity and carving out time on a Monday morning. And don't hesitate to reach out to me if I can do anything to assist.
All righty. Well, everybody enjoy your week. Again, thanks for spending time with us this morning. Goodbye.